you and just ask yourself, what in here could kill me? It's what I do on every job that I go to, be it a construction site, active construction site, demolition job, operating engineering floor, mechanic shop, wherever it may be. I'll walk in and say, well, what in here could kill me? Not that I'm scared, right? But I'm taking stock. If I get too close to this TV, is this TV going to fall on me, right? What do these lights look like right here? Do any of them have the opportunity to get loose and fall on me, right? Is there an uneven part of the surface? Is there a dead spot on the surface? Is there a hole in the ground, right? So taking into stock all of these things that are in my surroundings and where I'm working, and it just makes for a safer environment that you can work in, right? So when you do this, when you walk into an environment, you kind of just check out what's going on and just say, okay, all right, how can I, I've got to look out for, TVs that could potentially fall. I've got to look out for, doorsteps going into other environments and make sure that if there is a step, that I'm conscious of that step, right? Or if there's material all over the ground, things like that, I've got to, some of these environments don't belong to me. So since those environments don't belong to me, I can't go in there and just like, hey, you got to move that, you got to move this, get this out of the way, blah, 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 blah. I can't do that, right? Unless it's my job to do that, right? So in these situations, what I have to do is just assess the environment and make sure that I'm conscious of what the environment looks like and how I can be safe as I move forward, okay? So we start off, all of these lessons are all going to start off pretty much the same way. They're going to start off with the introduction to OSHA. Introduction to OSHA, it's a 2-hour lesson. And what it talks about is the idea that as a worker, you should be protected from, or you should be given a work environment that's safe and helpful, okay? Not everything that we do is safe and helpful, okay? Whether it's a construction site, whether it's an operating engineering floor, not everything is safe and helpful. But your employer is charged with making the environment as safe as it could be, right? Taurus brought up the idea of you starting your own business, which I think is amazing. One of the things that you'll have to do when starting your own business, when you start to fill up all these chairs with the people that work for you, is that the first person you hire and the last person that gets hired and everybody in between, you are responsible for their safety. If they're performing, if they're being paid for performance, if you are paying them for a task they need to get done, right? If they're being paid for performance, whatever you're paying them to do, they should be safe while they're doing it, right? Now, it's not likely that you're going to be there 100% of the time with all of your workers to make sure that they're always safe. So what needs to happen is they need to be trained to look out for what these hazards are. They should be able to predict what these hazards could be, right? And be able to problem solve on, okay, how do I make this, how do I complete this task and do it in the safest way, right? That's why these classes are so important. That's why we take so much put so much into this, is because this should be the baseline. The same way you showed up today should be the same way you go home, right? 10 fingers, 10 toes, arms, legs working fine. Yeah, that's how it should be. So, that's why this introduction is really important. This poster right here